Hello everyone, I am Pankhuri Gidwani, and as the very pretty lady introduced me, Miss Grand India 2016. Just excuse me for my husky voice because my throat is not really good, but yes, I'm going to do my best today. So, what is failing and what is succeeding? Why do we always associate shame with failure and happiness and pride with success? It's very natural for human beings to do that because once they get what they want, that is their success. And once they don't get what they want, that becomes a failure. But let's face it, if you don't get what you want and if you fail, you might start doing such hard work that you might get even more than what you expected. So was your failure supposed to be associated with shame? Or could it have been better that you would have taken it in a better spirit because instead you fell upwards, right? That's the topic under fire today, falling upwards. Well, we've seen the greatest examples like Albert Einstein. He did odd jobs, he sold insurance, nobody believed him, but he fell upwards. Bill Gates, he was the co-owner of a failed business, Data. He fell upwards. And even I have failed. Even I have faced failures, and even then I have fell upwards. So let's go ahead how a trampoline and a ping pong ball can be used as examples. When you go down and hit the harsh reality, that's when you rise. You jump on the trampoline, you go down, you rise upwards. So that's what I'm talking about. Don't take all your failures, all your setbacks so seriously that you forget to rise post that. So I'll go ahead with my experience. Now, I was a 16-year-old when I started modeling, and then I went on to win the Campus Princess pageant, which is a sub-pageant of Miss India. And then I went on to win the Miss India pageant, Femina Miss India at the age of 18. Do you realize how excited I must have been, how happy I must have been? I was on a winning streak, I was, first Campus Princess winner, then a Miss India winner, and now was my international pageant. Now was the time I was going to conquer the world. But I got jaundice right before my pageant, and I was also in a very toxic relationship where I was being told what I was doing was not good enough. And hence, I didn't perform my best at my international pageant, though I was ranked 26 out of 80 countries, but I came back with a failure, right? And that means so much to you when you've trained 6 months for it, when you've been doing your ramp walk session, your hair and makeup session, your fitness session, you're eating like, oh my God, okay, fine, I have to eat this. You're looking at burgers and you're like, no, I've got to stay away from this. And you're just doing everything possible on earth because you will be called India over there. To them, you are India and you can't mess up. But I did mess up. I didn't win, even though it was a great feat for me to even be there at the age of 18. And I came back with that failure, and I had that feeling with me for a very long time. I was semi-depressed, I thought I could do nothing else, I was worthless, and I associated my worth to that one pageant. I associated my worth to how I had started looking after it. And, I was like, what do I do now? I'm just falling. But then, one day I just woke up and I realized, no more. And I took myself forward. I started going for jogs, for runs, I started studying every day, and I promised to myself that no, my board examinations are not going to be another Miss Grand International. I am going to ace this. I'm going to do whatever I can to just ace this exam. And hence, from my failure, I fell upwards. I used that failure as my trampoline to bounce back, and hence scored 97.25 in my ISC. And that's when I realized how powerful failures can be for you. So when I was preparing for my national pageant, my Beauty with a Purpose was the Sulabh initiative. And I went on to talk to Mr. Bindeshwar Pathak, who's the head of Sulabh Shauchalaya, and I said, you know, what can we do for these women in the rural areas? Because I feel that education is so important for everyone, and especially the women who are being denied the right to education a lot of places. So he said, you know, a very big reason why girls and women don't go to schools is because they don't have proper toilets. And you know, your pride, your family pride is associated with your daughter a lot of times, right? So then I said, let's do something about it. And then we took up this initiative of constructing toilets in the rural areas for women. And it was such a big success, it was such a big hit. We did a recce of the Barthana village in UP, and we were able to construct 10 toilets. And of course, that was taken up ahead by the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. And I was like, you know, it's such a big failure that we are not able to give back to the society. And hence, we should make it into the success by giving back what we do owe to the society. And I had a position and I had a place in the society where I could make a difference, and I said, why not? Coming to the next part, beauty with brains. Now this term is very misused a lot of times, you know. I mean, why don't we even think of handsome with brains? Why is it always with beauty with brains? Why can't a conventionally, traditionally good-looking girl be intelligent? Why is it so surprising for people, you know, oh my God, she's beautiful and intelligent? I mean, wow. No, why doesn't anybody ever say, oh, he's handsome and intelligent? They're like, oh, he's a handsome young man, he's really smart as well. There's no surprise. So I think this is a very overrated term which comes from a background of patriarchy and misogyny that's there in our society. And I think it should just be accepted that beautiful girls can be very intelligent, can be very smart, can be good at anything and everything they want to do in life. So yes, I think that term, I took it as a compliment for a very, very long time, and I was happy with it. But after that, when I went into the depth of the term, I said, no, there is something wrong with it, you know. It's not a surprise that a beautiful girl can be brainy, and the stereotype really has to be broken down. Looks are not everything. And I know a lot of you might be thinking, she's pretty, you know, she can go ahead and say this, you know, the problems we face in life, like, you know, you don't know. But really, like I'm telling you, even I had a time when one pimple, one scar, one mark would make me go like, oh my God, what's happening? It would make me go berserk. It would make me feel, you know, I'm not worthy enough. And that was one of the reasons when I came back from my international pageant, you know, I was in this very stressed, very depressed phase, and you know, like my entire face had acne all over it. And you know, people just make it worse. They tell you, oh my God, pageant से पहले तो बड़ी सुंदर थी, क्या हो गया? ये face पे क्या हो गया? ऐसे कैसे हो गया? No, because people traditionally attach your worth so much with your looks that you also tend to do the same. And that's not what you're supposed to be doing. At a very vulnerable age of 18, I got into an industry where I was made to believe that, you know, looks are really important. They make you or break you. And I chose not to look at that. I chose to choose a different path and to be like, no, enough. I am more than my looks. I am my personality. I am my character. I am my nature. I am that person who will be there for my friends when they need a shoulder to cry on. I am that woman who will make a difference in the world, who will go on to help the rural women, who will go on to make this world a different place. I am much more than my looks. And as and when the pageant, went forward, my national pageant, later on I was told that, you won, of course, because, you were pretty and you spoke well, but a lot of the people who you won't think would be a part of the panel were a part of it. The driver who used to take us every day on and off for all the sessions was asked, "Aapko kaun sabse acha lagta hai nature mein?" The cook in our guest house who used to cook food for us was asked, "Who speaks the best to you? Who is the most polite to you?" And a lot of our managers and people who used to manage us on a daily basis during the pageant were asked, "Who is the best natured person over here? Who are the 3 best natured people?" And that's why, I believe that real beauty is what makes you win in life in general. Importance of education, yes. I mean, a lot of times we look at education like a way to just be independent, to just earn money. And especially for women, we look at it, like, if she'll be independent, if she'll be financially independent, she'll be able to do a job, and, she won't have to depend on a guy or a man to support her. But let me tell you, education is much, much more than just getting the job you want to get and earning money. It's making you into a personality. It's giving you knowledge. It's making you worthy of just striking a conversation with your co-passenger in a flight. It's something that makes you realize your rights, to fight for them. It makes you a responsible citizen, a whole person. And that's why I chose to come back to my education, even though I could have just flown away into the glamour world. I was getting offers for web series, I was getting offers for films, I was getting offers for shoots. I didn't need to come back to my education, but the need is not just to earn money through education. The need is to become a wholesome person, to know yourself and what's happening around you, and to contribute to the society through education. Well, failures and success, they're a part of everyday life. Like, if you take my example, I'm an actor, and a model, and a dancer, okay? Let's go to the acting part. I go for auditions every single day after college, and there are so many times when they'll tell you, yes, you come, you give the audition, and you're like, yes, I'm going to get this is going to happen for me, I'm going to be a star. But the next day you realize you weren't selected. And you do feel kind of rejected, but you're like, okay, let me take this as a lesson and, even work even harder for the next one, and for the next one, and for the next one. And I remember I struck my first ad after 30 odd auditions. So, it's not easy. There are failure and successes as a part of everyday life, but you've got to stay strong. You've got to stay focused, and you've got to move towards your goal. And what I started asking for feedback. After every failure, after every rejection, I would ask, why was I rejected? Was it my look for the character? Was it my acting? Was it my voice? What was it that I can improve on to fall upwards? Chase your dream no matter what. Like, I want to tell you, I know all of you have really big dreams, and being a management school, I am assuming, kind of stereotyping, that a lot of you want to have your own startups, want to start up something of your own. You have your dream, you have a certain vision in your mind. I'm telling you, do not give up on it, even if you face failures. Because every time you fail is a process you learn to be better than what you expected yourself to be. Okay? So don't do that. Don't give up your own dreams, ever. And these are small tips which I realized from my experience of falling upwards, of how you can use your failures as that trampoline, as that ping pong ball, which when you go down, look, whoop, you go further than what you ever thought you could do. Like, I wish I could win that, but I failed. And you work so hard that you achieve something that you look down, or you look, at that thing and like, I think I could do much better. That's why I didn't get that. So the tips for falling upwards were yeah, aim high and work your best. You live only once, make the most of it. I'm telling you, don't let your failures, your little setback, your little battles make you lose the war. Let them be the facts that you rise even higher. Second is, please don't beat yourself up for any of your failures. It's understandable that you're human and you will fail and you will succeed at some times, so be okay with it. Gracefully accept it and tell yourself, ठीक है यार, ये हो गया, I know this was the problem, and I know the problem now. Let's focus on the solution. Okay, I know I can't study for more than 1 hour, fine. Every time I'll study 45 minutes, take a 15-minute break, come back to it. That's how I won't get saturated. So know your problem, accept it. If you want, be a little sad sometime, but then just focus on your solution. Third is, be smart and know what your calling is. So if I'm telling you don't give up on your dream, fine, of course. Go, try, do your best at whatever you want to do, but if you figure out that that is not your calling, if you figure out that, you know what, I'm failing at this too often, I'm not really getting where I want to, try to change your path or try to slightly maneuver around that path so that you come to know what your real calling is and what your aptitude is and what your talent is and what you would get paid for, and that would bring you to that real job description that you are made for. Then take time out and self-introspect, meditate, and have positive energy. It's very important to just sit by yourself, ask yourself, how was your day? What did you do good? What did you do bad? How can you make things better? And always write down your goals. Ask the universe for what you want. Attract the energies that you would like to be in your life. If you want a certain thing to happen, ask the universe, okay, I want to get this particular job, or I want to have this startup. And do it every day as a practice and be positive about it. When you ask, when you attract, that's what you get. I'm telling you, it works. Balance it out, work and life. Because see, if you just keep working, as you know, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. We've been learning this since we were like kids. So please take that time out to go for that vacation. Take that time out to spend time with your parents. Take that time out to go out for that date. It's fine. It's all right. You're here to live a life. You're not here to survive, right? And at the end, I would just like to say, defy the law of gravity. Fall upwards. Thank you.